can't believe this has to be said this day. Well, apparently I shouldn't be surprised. If you are sending really disgusting comments to any of the actors in the series, you're a terrible person. That's a nice way of saying it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will. So just wanted to get this out the way. Yeah. This shouldn't have to be said, but obviously in the world that we live in, it has to be. So if you haven't heard, Moses Ingram, she is the actress portraying Reva and Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's gotten some pretty disgusting comments due to her portrayal of the character in the series. Nothing towards like just not liking the character or something like that, but we're talking about like derogatory, racist comments for her portrayal. Do not do that. And if you even call yourself a fan, no, don't do that. That's bullshit. She is an actor doing her job, portraying a character who I find quite compelling and interesting, and a very interesting antagonist to have in this series. Even if I didn't like the character, it's a character. She is a person. You do not send that sort of shit to a person who is just doing their job. This is make-believe. This is fantasy. It should be for everyone. So I don't give a shit who the you are. Do not do that to any of the actors in anything. We went through this shit with Kelly Marie Tran, with John Boyega, with Daisy Ridley. Enough is enough. And I'm obviously, people watching this probably don't have those opinions or views, and that's fine. If you somehow found this video and you do have that sort of rhetoric, please unfollow me, unsubscribe, crawl back under whatever rock that you're under. This fandom should be for everyone. Everyone. You never take this shit out on an actor or someone just doing a job. Someone portraying a character. It's okay to have issues with a character's writing, a character's dialogue. If they don't click for you, that's fine. But ask yourself, why does this character not click with you? If you can't come up with a logical response, you might want to take a look at your viewpoint. I just needed to get that out of the way. So, okay. Let's talk about happier stuff, shall we? Hi, how's it going? My name's Will, and I'm here to do a spoiler review for episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is going to be a spoiler review, so I will be talking about some spoilers from the episode and just giving you my overall thoughts on the episode. If this is your first time, I do apologize for that sort of more serious tone. I try to keep it lighthearted on this channel, but that was just something that's been fearful that could happen because of the toxic side of this fan base, and I just felt like I needed to say something. So I usually don't start off that sort of a downer, but normally it's a lot more lighthearted than that. But if this is your first time, hopefully I didn't scare you off. I do movie reviews, I do reactions, discussions, do gaming, drinking, but it's usually all things wrapped around geekiness, and geekiness is for everyone, especially regards with this month being Pride Month. So if that sort of thing's your bag and you like to hear it from a hairy bear's perspective, I don't know why I keep saying that, but it's true. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. Can't get there without you, and I like to truly believe that we are all beautiful people in this world. Unfortunately, I know that's not 100% true. But if that is your bag, please subscribe. And let's talk about this episode 3, because I was completely wrong in terms of how quickly we were going to get some of these confrontations in the series. This being, of course, a 6-episode miniseries detailing the life of Obi-Wan Kenobi during this darker time in the galaxy. So where we were last left off with episode 2, when he rescued Leia, and they escaped on the freighter, he did reach out through the Force and ended up connecting with Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, who is in this episode and very much a threat. We've never seen this portrayal of Vader. I mean, if you remember the original trilogy, Vader had a menacing presence, but he wasn't as brutal on screen as I remember. We did get something like that in Rogue One, in that famous corridor fight that we saw toward the end of Rogue One. But this episode, we see this super hardcore version of Darth Vader, who honestly, this version makes total sense that he is feared throughout the galaxy in this episode. But the episode mainly focuses on Obi-Wan trying to not only get Leia to safety, but also learning to kind of trust again. He's been alone for so long, and his trust in a lot of things in his previous life has been shattered because of the events of Revenge of the Sith, and of course with the rise of the Empire. He has difficulty just trusting people to do good, trusting what Kumail Nanjiani's character said to him and set up this meeting with another person who could help get him to safety, which is starting to bring questions of if he was actually a Jedi. I'm starting to get the impression that he was. I shouldn't say was, is. I believe he's still alive. We get more of time with Ben and with Leia. And Leia in this episode, played by Vivian Lyra Blair, she wasn't as annoying in terms of the character, because she is a child. Come on, let's be real. Kids are annoying, regardless. But I think she does an amazing job as the character. She really exudes some of that early days or potentiality in what she will become as she becomes older, being much more of a force and a presence, and having a drive to be proactive is, I think, the best way I can describe. And but I really like their conversations and how she is a kid, but she is very intelligent for her age. She definitely knew that Ben was hiding something, knowing that she knows that he knows of her actual mother. And she does ask if Ben's her father, which he kind of put the kibosh on that real quick. We also get some new characters, and I guess the beginnings of what would become the Resistance, with people who are helping to kind of ferry not only Jedi but Force-sensitive individuals and younglings to safety, to keep them safe from the potential clutches of the Empire, because we see that they are aware that the Empire is not only killing Jedi, but they are trying to get a hold of Force-sensitive people, especially kids. For what reasons, they're not 100% sure, but they do relay all that information to Obi-Wan. And it's good because we start seeing Obi-Wan realize that people aren't all bad and that people are still fighting, even though he's given up the fight a long time ago. And I feel like these next 2 episodes are really going to be formative and getting him to the point where he believes that it is still worth fighting, it is still worth trying to do what's right, even in such a dark time. We get more fallout from Reva and her execution of the Grand Inquisitor and her grasp for power, and get a little bit more of what her real drive is. It's not only necessarily she wants Obi-Wan for personal reasons, which I still think is personal reasons. She definitely wants to achieve this in order to gain more favor with Lord Vader, which we do get to hear Vader speak and have conversations with Reva and the other Inquisitors. And it is James Earl Jones' voice. That is confirmed that James Earl Jones is reprising the voice of Vader, albeit that Hayden Christensen is portraying Vader in the suit for the majority of the episode. And speaking of Hayden Christensen, I think we got our first glimpse of him non-Vader in this episode, because as Obi-Wan and Leia are walking on this planet trying to get to the port, he starts hallucinating and sensing, I guess maybe sensing glimpses of Vader through the Force or Anakin, because we see a robed figure in the distance that only Obi-Wan can see, and it does look like Anakin Skywalker, like Chardboro. But everything really heats up after they make it to the safe house and are getting ready to leave, but they track them to this planet, and I was expecting it to just be Revan and the Inquisitors, but no. We get Vader. Vader has come looking hard for Obi-Wan.
That's what she said.
He knows he's there. And not only that he knows he's there, because the probe droid actually located him. Him looking for him through this city is probably the most brutal scene I've actually seen in Star Wars. Just my personal opinion. But him walking through these streets with all these people who are like terrified, him ripping people from their homes, force choking them, dragging them through the streets. I think he kills a kid, just hardcore kills a kid. But Jesus Christ, that's terrifying. And then in order to draw him away, Ben has to entrust Leia to Tia, I believe is the character's name. She's the one who was the contact that Haja, played by Camille Nanjiani, sent Obi-Wan to find, but she couldn't get to him in time, and that's why they had the scuffle with the Empire. But they were able to get away. But then Vader showed up, and we got this really tense, suspenseful, like cat and mouse chase in a quarry between Obi-Wan and Vader. And I love the use of light and shadow, the use of the sabers igniting, because Obi-Wan ignites his saber trying to figure him out. But of course, here's the thing. They tried to play it off very stealthily that Vader's like looking for Obi-Wan in this quarry and how he just appears in certain spots. But you know he can't be super stealthy because A, he's got 2 metal legs, so he has got a lead foot regardless of what you do. And B, the freaking light bright on his chest is showing up first before you even hear the sound of the breathing. But it's a really tense scene. It's a hard scene, and it's their first confrontation in 10 years. And even Vader says like, you've gotten weak in your time, because Obi-Wan can't hold his own in this fight. Again, the brutality that Vader does in this episode is from what I've seen in most live action Star Wars, next level. At this point. Now, I don't want to say next level. That sounds like way too hardcore. But it's a lot more brutal than I was expecting. Like, he ignited an area and dragged Obi-Wan through the fire, kind of as a sense of symbolism to what Anakin went through when he was burning on Mustafar. It was just like the symbolism and just the brutality that's being invoked by Vader in this first confrontation with Obi-Wan. The only reason Obi-Wan survived is because Tia came back for him, which by convincing from Leia to go back and help Obi-Wan, because he was completely outmatched. But that leads to something else towards the end of the episode. But she's able to help distract long enough for this power loader droid that they befriended, was able to help kind of drag him away. Which I'm surprised Vader just kind of like gave up for a second, just to like let him go. But he's pretty burned on at least one side of his body. Not terribly burned. Like, I don't think Vader was going for the kill with this. He definitely wanted to make him suffer. And yeah, it was more of to try to make him suffer in that moment. It definitely wasn't a killing attempt in that, because he wanted him captured. But of course he got away, at least temporarily. The episode ends with Leia running through the tunnel trying to get to the port, but instead of encountering the pilot she was supposed to encounter, she encountered Reva, who is on the hunt now for Leia again. Still not knowing who Leia is in general, but it's definitely not looking good for Leia. The only thing about this episode that I will say, and that's basically the end of the episode, I just want, like, the biggest talking point about this episode is we got our first good look at Vader. We got Vader into the story now, and the first real confrontation between him and Obi-Wan since the Battle of Mustafar. The one thing I will say, and this is just a problem in general with prequels, is that we know the fates of these characters. We know what happens with Leia. We know what happens to Obi-Wan. We know what happens to Vader. So at this point, it's like, they're not going to retcon anything hard. You can't. Not with the way that the story is basically set up. The Grand Inquisitor being iced in Episode 2, if that is supposedly the same Grand Inquisitor that we encountered in the Rebels cartoon, they might have played with the retconning of that a little bit, maybe to kill him off. I'm still the proponent that he's not dead. That's just me. I could be wrong. It could have been, just again, same species, 2 different characters, both going by Grand Inquisitor. I wouldn't put it past them for that either. I don't think anything's going to happen to Obi-Wan or Leia in these remaining 3 episodes. I just don't see that happening because we know where the story goes. However, albeit that reduces the amount of tension I have a little bit, the scenes when he's being stalked by Vader in the quarry are tense. I felt the tension. I was like, oh shit, how? That was my question. It's like, how are you getting out of this? And that basically was my entire thing. Once Vader entered the scene officially in that 3rd act of the episode, how in the fudge are you getting out of this? I don't know how. Obviously Obi-Wan got away briefly, but the man is burned. He's burned on one side of his body, which... not as bad as Anakin, but he's still burned. And now Leia's trying to run away from Reva, who is super hardcore. I don't know what she's going to do or attempt to do. I feel like there's going to be some sort of ex machina to save Leia at this point. Rather another mysterious figure, or even one of the Inquisitors might be just tired of of her stuff and want to basically be like, nah, girl, I'm taking over. And then he gets iced, or they get iced. I don't know. But that's basically Episode 3. Episode 3 really progressed the story a lot faster than I thought. I was not expecting them to give us Vader this early, but I'm kind of glad that they did, because now I don't know where the story is really going to take us, and that's exciting. I'm growing more and more interested in this younger version of Leia. She is not as grating as I thought, but she's a child. Of course she's going to grate most adults' minds. Hell, even Ben was getting a little snippy with her, just with her precociousness. Still into Reva. I am. Her drive, her determination. It's not really just a quest for power. It seems like she wants to be the apprentice to Vader, and she will go through any goal to get that. But still, there's something that's not there. There's something that's missing from her backstory. I'm still the proponent that she was one of those Padawans or younglings during Episode 1 during the escape. I'm still leaning towards that. There's got to be something more. But who knows? It could just be her drive and determination in order to gain favor with Lord Vader. But there's still something there. There's still something that we haven't been revealed yet. And I'm hoping we get that in the next episode. This series has impressed me a lot. Pacing's been really good. I wasn't expecting it to go this far this soon. But I think that just leaves us open to more than... I was expecting, and I'm totally down for that. But overall, this 3rd episode was shocking, was brutal, and a lot more brutal than I thought. And it seems like Leia's going to be playing a major factor for the rest of the series, which I'm totally down for. Again, with more time with her, I'm pretty sure people will kind of come around to the child version of her. I mean, she's at least she's trying to do something. Luke's just chilling on a farm. I don't know. Yeah, that was the biggest talking points for me from the episode. That was the thing I really wanted to come on here and talk about. Obviously, besides my, my thoughts and wanting to get that out at the very beginning of this review. But I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you are too. So let me know your thoughts of Episode 3 in the comments down below. What you think we might see now that we've gotten this brief confrontation with Obi-Wan and Vader pretty early in the series. Like, what can we expect getting closer to like the finale. We only got 3 episodes left, so this is moving at a really good pace, and I'm good with it. That is my review of episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching this and all my videos. I really do appreciate it. If you are new here and you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to the channel? Like I said, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. Love to have you as a subscriber. I post weekly, sometimes multiple times in the week. I've got a lot of videos I'm working on right now because I am currently on vacation and I'm trying to knock out a bunch of stuff while I'm on vacation. Got this video should be dropping in the next day or 2, depending on when you're watching this. I've got a board game time video I am in the process of editing, so hopefully by this coming weekend I will have that posted as well. And I've got some other things as well. You can just follow me on all different social media platforms. It's usually where I update things, where I update when I post new videos. I've got a ton of videos on this channel right now that you're more than welcome to check out. I will be back next week with episode 4. I am also teaming up with Geek, a friend of mine named Terrell, who runs his own YouTube channel, and I was with him for his episode 1 and 2 review of Obi-Wan Kenobi and also gave my thoughts there as well. So feel free to check that out. I will post a link to that in the description of this video, and I might be on the next one, so if you will, check out his YouTube channel, Around the Geek. But yeah, until next time, I'll catch you later. And be kind to each other, you know, just be kind to each other. Treat people how you would like to be treated. That's all. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.